Hello class. So today's session is all about verbs. So let me tell you what is verb. A verb is a word that tells us something about a person or a thing. Okay. So let us see some example. You can see here Hari laughs, the clock strikes, Hari is scolded, the window is broken, the cat is dead, and glass is brittle. I feel sorry. So, in the first session, you can see that what a person or a thing does, right? So, a verb always tells us, okay, a verb always tells us what a person or thing does. See there what it tells about Hari. Hari laughs. The clock strikes. So it is telling us about what a person is doing, right? Similarly, if you see a second example, what is done to a person or a thing. So here it is telling us that what is done to a person or a thing, right? So you can see here Hari is scolded. It is telling that Hari is getting scolded. The window is broken. So in the third example you can see that what a person or a thing is, right? So you can see that the cat is dead. Glass is brittle. I feel sorry. So all the words that are in the italic forms, you can see all those are verbs. So sometimes the verb may consist, okay? It may consist of more than one word. As you can see here, the girls were singing, right? So it is telling us that the girls were singing, right? So sometimes the verb indicates us about the tense or what actions had been taken place in any of the tenses. Okay, so a verb may sometime contain more than one word, right? Now, so basically a verb can state an action, okay, or it can tell us about the state, okay, state of a being. So here you can see that run and play, okay. So these are the actions. So actions performed by a person or a thing. So action may be anything, again it may be write, it may be sing, it may be a dance, okay. So anything that shows that action is being carried out by person or a thing, right? So coming back to state of being, it indicates a state. So like is, right, was, were, feels, huh? So it is telling us all about the state of a being. So verb basically indicates all about what action, okay, or a state of a person, place, okay, or a thing. Now let us see a few examples. How does it indicates an action? So you can see here in the first example, children reads book regularly. So it is telling us that children are reading books, okay. So reads is an action which is performed by the children, right? So in the second example you can see that Superman is flying in the sky, right? So Superman, what the Superman is doing, he is flying in the sky. So third one, I ride bicycle regularly. So you can see that the bicycle is being ride by the boy. So the words showing actions like reading, flying, okay, riding or playing, okay, all these are called as what? Action verbs. So the next section, that is the state verbs. So here you can see that the state or a situation of the subject. So hopefully you all know what is a subject, what is a predicate, what are the sentence structure, isn't it? So all this you had learnt in the school. But so here I'll try to tell you. See the first example. She feels happy today. So she feels happy today. So it is telling us about a lady and she is feeling happy today, right? So feel is nothing but a state, okay, state of a being or a situation of a subject. See next example, I am a boy, right? So it is telling a state of being. He is a policeman. So here is considered as a state verb, right? So verb can be a state verb, okay, or it can be an action verb. All right, now see, so we all know that every sentence, right, it contains so many parts of speech. Every sentence has its own structure. So basically a sentence is divided into a subject, right? It is divided into a verb, it has got an object, right? So usually you feel that a sentence structure containing a subject and a predicate. So see an example here. Rubina is eating pizza, right? So what is Rubina doing? Rubina is eating, right? So eating is a verb here, right? It is showing an action which is carried out by Rubina. Am I right? Yes. So Rubina is eating. So what is she eating? What is Rubina eating? So Rubina is eating pizza. So when I question, okay, when I ask a question combining a subject and an object and I get an answer, sorry, when I combine subject and a verb, right, and I get an answer as an object, alright, yeah, and I get an answer as an object, so that type of verb, okay, is called as a transitive verb. So eating here, right, becomes a transitive type of verb, right, yeah, alright. See, this is the basic structure of, or you can say that the classification of verb. So the verbs are classified into three main types, that is finite verb, non-finite and auxiliary. So in finite again you have three main types, that is transitive, intransitive, linking verb. So in non-finite we have gerund, participles. In participles we have present, past, and in past we have regular and irregular participles, right? Yeah. So in auxiliaries again it is further categorized into primary auxiliaries and modals, which are already also called as a secondary auxiliaries, right? Right. So primary, basically it has three forms, that is to be form, to have form and to do form, wherein models may be like models like regularly like can, could, would, so many of them, alright. Yeah. So the basic thing that I want to tell you is that our question paper is in the objective form. Alright. We have maximum 15 to 20 marks coming in, okay, which is in the objective forms on verb. So, what is the need of learning all these things? It's a big question, right? But let me tell you that when we know the basic things about the verb and when we know all the basic concepts, okay, it becomes easy for you to write in the answers in your question papers. Already we have like MCQs, we have objectives, and we have so many options in that, but still I feel that learning grammar would be never a waste, as it may help you during any of the interview process. All right, good, fine. So hopefully you're getting the points. Yeah. So one thing I want to tell you before going to the next section, right? I want to tell you every sentence, okay, every sentence can be framed in three tenses. What are these three tenses? All right. So we have present tense, right? We have past tense and we have future tense. So whenever the communication or whenever sentences are framed in present tense, we use the verbs like am, is and are, right? So when we are talking about past tense, we use the verbs like was, were. So when we are talking in the future tense, we use the verbs like will, be. So when these exactly verbs are used, yeah, we use these verbs to show continuous action in all the three tenses, right? So this will show us about the action that is being carried out. It will sometimes also show us about the profession, all right? Yes. Now, so the one of the form, right? One of the form which is commonly used in the communication and the commonly used verbs, okay? See here, that is to be forms with pronouns. To be forms with pronouns. So we have this structure, or you can say that the table framed, where we have first person, second person, third person, singular and plural, right? So when a person is talking, right, it is considered as a first person singular, saying that I am, okay? So particularly in the present tense. So I was, particularly in the past tense. I will be, particularly in future tense, right? So first person plural, right? It means when one or two people are talking, right? Or one or two plurals, right? Singulars, right? So we are, we were, and we will be. Same way, when the second person singular and plural, we refer you are, you were, you will be, right? And when uh, the person is talking about a third person singular, okay, so we use he is, she was, it will be, they are, they were, and they will be. So what are all these? So all these are the basic things required, right? So these are the things which we use in various tenses, like it may be present tense, okay, past tense, and the future tense. So this is a basic sentence structures which is very very important. Yeah. All right. So let us go to the main types of verbs. So we have so many categories. The first one is the finite verb, right? So in finite verb we have transitive, intransitive, and we have a linking verb, right? Okay. So what about finite verb? Yeah, finite verbs, like usually they are the main verbs in any of the sentence, right, which has some subject to show and which also has got some tense to show. So finite verbs are the main verb, right? Now let us go to the another type, that is a transitive verb, right? What is transitive verb? See, a transitive verb is that verb that passes the action of a subject to its object. So what it means, some action is passed, right? Some action is passed from the subject to the object. So that is called as a transitive verb. So here you can see that, see an example. I write a letter, right? I write a letter. So what it means? Okay. So what is the subject here? I is the subject. Write, okay, write is the verb. So when we combine a subject and a verb and frame a question saying what? So when I say that I write what? So it will answer me back with an object. So what happens here? The subject, okay, yeah, some action is passed from the subject to the object. So here write is considered as what? Write is considered as a transitive verb. Yeah. Now see second example. I requested an example. So I requested what? I requested an example. So here requested is also a transitive verb, right? So one more short hint to identify what type of verb it is. So whenever a verb is followed by an article, okay, that verb is a transitive verb. So if we have any verb followed by the preposition, it is considered that that verb is not a transitive, it is an intransitive verb. See another example saying I sat on the chair. So I sat what? There is no answer returned back, isn't it? So we can say that sat here is our intransitive verb. So when there is no action passed over from the subject, okay, to the object, no action passed here. And okay, and one more thing is that we always have an preposition like on, with, before, between. These are all prepositions. We always have a preposition followed with the verb. Whenever we have a preposition followed with the verb, okay, it is said to be an intransitive verb, right? Yeah. See few examples on intransitive. Okay, so what are intransitive? That doesn't pass the action of doer to its object, right? See, I sat on the chair, I spoke with my friend, I played on the ground, the kids are playing in the street. So everywhere the verbs, they do not have a proper answer in the form of an object. So instead they are linked with the prepositions, right? So here all the action verbs, right, are the intransitive verbs. Clear? Yeah. So these are few examples again. Yeah. See here, Mark is writing a letter, right? Okay. Mark, right, is a subject. Mark is writing what? Mark is writing a letter. Therefore, okay, writing here is considered as a transitive verb. Right? See one more example. Mark is sleeping. Right? So Mark is a subject and sleeping is a verb. Mark is sleeping what? So it indicates that there is no object. So there is no action passed over from the subject to the object. Hence this sentence is what? Yeah. Sleeping here is referred to be as what? Sleeping here is referred to be as what? As a intransitive verb. Same way you can see David is eating a sandwich, right? David is eating a sandwich, right? So what is David eating? David is eating a sandwich. So it is directly giving me answer as a sandwich. Alright, so this is another example. Okay, so these are few more examples. Jane is laughing. Sarah is walking. The door opened, right? Yeah. Then Sarah is walking to the office. The door opened slowly. So Jane is laughing. See all these three. Yeah, here you can see that the red colored ones are all transitive or intransitive verbs because they are not passing any action, okay, to the object. All right, where you can see that Sarah is walking to the office. The door opened slowly. So here walking, okay, and open, these both are considered as transitive verbs, right? All right, see there are few more examples which are given for intransitive verbs, right, which are not passing any actions. All right, see few more examples of transitive verbs. Alex sent what? Alex sent a postcard. She left what? She left the keys, right? So my father took what? My father took me, okay, please buy what? Please buy me a dog, isn't it? Yeah, so you can see that these are few more examples of transitive verbs. All right. Yeah, see few examples of intransitive verbs, right? So we arrived around midday. We arrived what? Right? So you can see that there is no object, direct object to answered, right? So words like arrived, okay? Or you can see second example, she sneezed loudly, right? So you can go through these please. So all these are which are highlighted or in the bold format, okay? So what are these? All these are intransitive verbs. So basically we are learning verbs, right? It may be of any type. It may be of transitive, it may be of intransitive, it may be a linking verb, it might be any one of those. But what is needed? Why there's a need to learn different kinds of verbs, right? It's needed to learn more about tenses, okay? How to use which word, which form of verb is used, and all these things. Okay, so now let us see about another type of verb, that is linking verb, right? So linking verbs are those verbs which link the subject to the predicate, right? It itself is a part of the predicate. See here, see the first example. You seem happy, right? Yeah, so seem is linking the subject to the predicate. So you is a subject here, seem happy is a predicate, wherein the seem plays as a helping verb. So you can see that seem is linking you and happy. That's why you can see that seem is a helping verb. Same way, see the second example. It appears complicated. It seems to be complicated, right? So here it is linking the subject to the predicate. So here appears again is considered as helping verb or linking verb. So basically all the linking verbs, right? So these are some of the linking verbs. You can go through them like am, are, is, was, were, will be, can be, have been, should be. All these comes under the linking verbs. So some of other linking verbs may also include appear, become, feel, sound, taste, right? So these type of verb, like see, I am talking, right? So what it is doing, am is linking the subject to the predicate. I was having dinner, right? So we were listening, right? Yeah, I can be singing, right? So what it is doing, it is exactly linking, right? It is exactly linking the subject to the predicate. Yeah, okay. So here are few more examples, okay, which tells you, right, how the linking verbs are used. See, William is excited about his promotion. She appears upset about the announcement. The eggs smell rotten. He went red after tripping on the rug. So in your examination, guys, remember you need to fill in, okay, you need to fill in the verbs, okay, different types of verbs. So many MCQs options will be given to you, right? Yeah. So this is all about finite verbs. So we saw that different, what are the main types of finite verbs, right? So that is transitive, intransitive and linking, right? So please go through all the notes, okay? And this is all about first type of verb, that is finite verb. So in the next session we will be seeing about infinite verbs. Okay, thank you.